In this video, we are going to take a look at working with lists of data. Specifically, we're going to take a look at the map function and how to map it to a custom widget, saving us lots of time in writing concise, robust code. So inside of main.dart, I have my simple app. The only difference is I have a class data that takes an ID and a name, and then in my home class, it is just a container with a list view. And so far, there are no children. So let's go ahead and create a list with this data. So right above the return statement, I can say list of type data. We'll call this data list, and this will be equal to a list of data. So let's go ahead and throw some data in here. Okay, perfect. So now we want to display this data. So how we do that is we can come down here to our children. What I want to do is I want to display each of these data in its own custom widget. So let's go down here and build that custom widget. We'll say widget. We're going to call this widget build row, and it will take in the ID and the data, type int and string, and we'll return, first we'll return a column, and the children for this, we want a divider first, and then let's put a row, and for this we'll have two children, both text widgets. And here is where we will put our ID. We need to put .toString because that is an integer. And we'll put our data, just like that. Actually, that shouldn't be data, that should be name. Perfect. Let's go ahead and format this up. And let me wrap this column with some padding. We're going to say from left top, right bottom, 16, 8, 16, and 0. And then for the row, I'm going to give it main axis alignment, space between. And then I'm going to increase the font size on the name to 16.0. So all basic stuff, we've covered all of this already. So what I want to do is I want to display each one of these data to this row. So we'll come up here to our list view, and the children, we're going to say data list dot map, change this variable to data. We're going to map this to our build row, passing in data.id and data.name. And then we will call at the end of this .toList. And as you can see, we have mapped each of this data to this list view. And each one of these is its own custom widget. So let's go back up to this data, and I'm going to comment this out. And let's generate more data. To do that in Flutter, we can use the generate method. So we still need our list of type data. And this will be equal to list type data dot generate. The length, we want 100 of these data. Index, we'll say I for short. And then we need to say data. The ID will be I, so 0, then 1, then 2, etc. And the name, we'll just make that name I, and then off with a semicolon. And this will generate a list of data, 100 of them, as we can see right over here with that auto refresh. So that is how we work with lists of data using our map function and our generate function. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at how we can structure our Flutter app using best practices.